Hello and welcome back to our class. In this video, we will discuss equations transformable into quadratic equations. We will apply the factoring methods that we have learned from solving quadratic equations. So if you are new into my channel, hit the subscribe button, share and like too. Let's begin this topic with this word problem. Two cyclists, Ram and Jin, started from the same place at the same time towards Tagaytay City, which is 90 kilometers away from their place. Ram traveled 1 kilometer faster than Jin and reached 1 hour before Jin. Can you determine the rate of each cyclist? Now, in order to solve this type of problem, so we will utilize the tabular form such that we have the cyclists Ram and Jin. So we have Jin and Ram. So the rate of Jin is unknown, so we will let x as the rate of Jin, while the rate of Ram is x plus 1. Take note that rate times time is equal to your distance. Since the distance is equal to 90 kilometers, in order to get the time, so that is 90 divided by x, this is the time of Jin. While the time of Ram is 90 divided by x plus 1. And take note that we can get the equation such that the difference between their time is equal to 1, meaning to say 90 over x minus the time of Ram, which is 90 all over x plus 1, is equal to 1. So we can start up with equation 90 over x minus 90 all over x plus 1 is equal to 1. Then we will get the LCD, meaning to say the LCD of x and x plus 1 is simply as x times x plus 1. So this is the LCD of our fraction. So we will multiply both sides of the equation with x times x plus 1. Remember that if I have 90 over x times x plus 1, I can simply factor out x. Okay? So I'll come up with 90 times x plus 1. Similarly, if I have 90 all over x plus 1 times x plus 1. So I can factor out x plus 1 and x plus 1. So I have here 90 times x. Since this is negative, so I write here negative 90 times x. Also, I have here 1 times x plus 1. So I come up with x times x plus 1. So do not forget to write your equal sign here. So next one. So I'll distribute now here 90 times x and 90 times 1. Then I'll continue the distributive property. So I'll come up with 90 times x plus 90 because 90 times 1 is equal to 90. Then I have here 90 times x is 90x, but this is negative, is equal to, take note that x times x is equal to x squared, and x times 1 is equal to x. Now, simplifying it further, take note that 90x minus 90x, so we only have here 90 is equal to, I have 90 is equal to x squared plus x. But take note, if I'll remove 90 here, so this is now equal to 0. So I have here x squared plus x minus 90. So I have now this equation. So I have now x squared plus x minus 90 is equal to 0. Okay, since we have now this equation x squared plus x minus 90, so we'll factor this one out. So take note that 90 is our constant but negative. So I'll look for the factors of 90 such that I have here 9 times 10. Next, recall that Okay, the middle term is actually positive. Okay, so meaning to say, I have here positive 10. And take note that this constant is negative 90. So one of the factors is positive and the other one is negative. So therefore, the factors of these equations are x plus 10 times x minus 9 is equal to 0. Then I will isolate x plus 10 is equal to 0. Solving further for x. So x is equal to negative 10. But I'll disregard this x because, okay, we are looking for the rate. There is no such as negative rate, right? Okay. So on the other hand, I have here x minus 9 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 9. Now, from the equation, okay, or from our representation, x represents the rate of Jean. So this is, okay, Jean travels at 9 kilometers per hour. So this is equal to 9. While x plus 1 is equal to 9 plus 1, which is equal to 10. So therefore, Ram traveled at the rate of 10 kilometers per hour and Jean traveled at the rate of 9 kilometers per hour. Let's have example number 2. Transform the equation into quadratic equation, then solve and check the value of the variable. So say for instance, I have the equation x plus 6 all over x is equal to negative 5. Since our LCD is equal to x, so we will multiply both sides of the equation by x. So it means that I have here x plus 6 all over x is equal to negative 5 times x. So take note that if I'll multiply x by x, so we will have x squared. Also, if I have here 6 all over x times x, I can factor out the x here. So this is only simply as 6. Then I have negative 5 times x will give me negative 5x. So with this, come up with x squared plus 6x is equal to negative 5x. Then I'll move negative 5x to the other side of the equation to make this one a standard form. So I have here x squared. So take note that negative 5x will become now positive 5x plus 6x is equal to 0. Then I'll factor out x squared plus 6x plus 6. Take note that if I'll factor x squared, so this will become x and x here. And take note that the factors of 6 are 3 and 2. And if I add 3 and 2, this will become 5. So therefore, so the factors of x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0 is equal to x plus 3 times x plus 2 is equal to 0. Alright. So I have here x plus 3 is equal to 0, so I'll isolate that. So therefore, if I'll move positive 3 the other side, so x will become negative 3. On the other side, I have x plus 2 is equal to 0. If I'll move positive 2 to the other side of the equation, so this will become x is equal to negative 2. Then, we would like to verify whether our answers of x is equal to negative 3 and x is equal to negative 2 is correct. So, let's verify that. So, again, let's substitute the values of x is equal to negative 3 as well as x is equal to negative 2. So, substitute the value of negative 3 to x here. So I have negative 3 plus 6 all over negative 3. Is it equal to negative 5? So we would like to verify that. So take note that 6 divided by negative 3 so will give us negative 2. So negative 3 plus negative 5, is it equal to negative 5? Take note that if I have negative 3 plus negative 2, this is the same as negative 5. So therefore, the value of x at x is equal to 2, negative 3 is correct. Okay? Okay, next. So we have here x is equal to negative 2. So again, we will substitute the value of x, which is equal to negative 2, to this equation. So I have now negative 2 plus 6 all over negative 2. Is it equal to negative 5? So simplifying further, so negative 2 plus negative 3, is it equal to negative 5? So negative 5 is equal to negative 5. So therefore, we can say that the solution set is equal to negative 3 and negative 2. To summarize our discussion, to solve rational equations transformable to quadratic equations, we will do the following. Step number 1. Determine the least common denominator, or the LCD, of the fractions. Number 2. Multiply all the terms of the equations by the LCD. Number 3 is remove the parentheses if needed. Number 4, rewrite the quadratic equation in general form in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And number 5, solve the quadratic equation. And finally, check the answer. Let's move on to our another example. So transform the equation into quadratic equation, then solve and check the value of the variable. Given this equation, x minus 6 all over x minus 3 is equal to 2x all over x minus 3. Take note that the LCD is equal to x minus 3. So I'll multiply both sides of the equation x minus 3. Now, so if I have here, okay, I'll distribute x times x minus 3, okay? Then I have here negative 6 all over x minus 3 times x minus 3. I can factor out x minus 3. So we have only negative 6. And also, 2x times x minus 3 times x minus 3, I can factor out x minus 3. So we have now 2x as the answer. So therefore, I can rewrite this one as x minus 3 times x minus 6 is equal to 2x. Then I'll distribute now x to x minus 3. So I have, okay, so x times x is equal to x squared. X times negative 3 is equal to negative 3x. Minus 6 is equal to 2x. Then, I'll write this one in standard form such that I'll move 2x on the other side of the equation. So it will become now x squared minus 3x minus 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. Then, I'll combine this together. So take note that negative 3 minus negative 2 will become negative 5, then simply annex x. So I have x squared minus 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. Recall, if I'll factor x squared minus 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. So I'll factor out first x, so it will become x and x. Okay. The next objective is to factor 6. So the possible factors of 6 are 3 and 2. But the last or the product is negative, so one of these factors, 3 and 2, will be positive and the other one is negative. But take note that this is actually negative. So if I put here negative 3 and negative 2 or positive 2, so this will become now negative 3x, while this one is positive 2x. But if I add this together, it will result to negative 6x only. So this is not the middle term that I'm looking for. So therefore, this is not the correct factors of the given equation. So I'll try another combination. So x squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. So I'll factor x squared as x and x. So the other possible combination for the factors of 6 are 6 and 1. But take note this one is negative, so I'll put negative 6. And this is positive 1. So if I'll double check this, So the product of negative 6 and x is negative 6x, while the product of x and 1 is equal to x. I'll combine this, so this will become negative 5x. So this is now my middle term. So therefore, these are the correct factors of the equation. Okay, so now, so the factors are x minus 6 times x plus 1 is equal to 0. Isolating x minus 6 is equal to 0. So I'll move negative 6 on the other side of the equation. So therefore, x is equal to 6. On the other hand, x is equal to 1. And I'll move positive 1 on the other side of the equation. So x is equal to negative 1. Now, to check whether my answers or the values of x is equal to positive 6 and negative 1 are the true values of x, then I'll substitute to the given equation. So, provided that x is equal to 6, so I'll substitute all values of x by 6. So, simplifying further, I have now 6 minus 6 all over 3 is it equal to 12? So, by simplifying further, guys, 6 minus 2, is it equal to 4? So, both sides of the equations are actually correct. Or, I mean, the same. So, 4 is equal to 4. So, therefore, x is equal to 6 is correct. Next, on the other side, if I'll substitute the value of x, which is equal to negative 1, okay, so I have now here negative 1 minus 6 over 4, is it equal to negative 2 all over negative 4? Simplifying it further, guys, so we have 1 half is equal to 1 half. So therefore, the solution set is equal to 6 and negative 1. That ends our first part of the video tutorials on equations transformable into quadratic equations. Hit the notification bell so that you will be informed on our next tutorial videos. For the meantime, answer the exercises and write your answers on the comment section. Once again, thank you and see you soon.